to allow me to do what I wanted to do produced a lot of good fruit in my life, I think.
Interesting. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So when did you realize that this is what you wanted to pursue? And I mean, to the point where you are now one of the directors and you're teaching, and you never really left it behind. So when did that click for you as
I think when it was a decision whether to go to college or pursue my art. And I expected to go to college. My father expected me to go to college.
Yeah.
We also knew that, you probably can dance forever, but if you want to pursue it, you do it early on.
Right.
So I did that. I trained at the Washington School of Ballet in Washington, D.C., and that was a time that I grew artistically, and I knew I wanted to dance, but that was actually also a time when I saw that it was also unfulfilling to me in the sense that dance in the professional ballet world can be cutthroat and very competitive.
Right.
And I began questioning why I was actually doing it, but then I was also growing in my faith in the Lord and seeing that I can do this. I wanted my life to reflect the goodness of God, and I came across Ballet Magnificat that had just recently started. It started in 1986, and this was a company, a ministry that was using dance to magnify the Lord and to focus on Him, to bring the attention to Him, not the dancers per se.
Yeah.
And it just clicked in my spirit. Like, I think I want to do that. So I actually went to Jackson, Mississippi. I thought for 1 year, just to kind of check it out, see what was happening there. And about 25 years later, I had no idea. But I actually met my dancer, met my husband who was a dancer.
Okay, a ballet dancer?
Yes. Wow. We were both toured together and became really good friends. And he finally asked me to marry him.
Oh, wow.
So we've settled down, and now we're directors at Ballet Magnificat. He's a choreographer as well.
Right.
And that's his passion. So you never know what the Lord has in store.
Yeah.
But it's been very fulfilling using our gifts for the Lord and now training up young ones to do the same thing. Now we've seen, the ministry was very small at first, and now we see lots of young lives having that same vision and desire to use their gifts for the Lord. So it's quite encouraging, and it's a privilege to be part of their training and molding and shaping them and see how God's going to use their lives.
Yeah. So I know at some point Invisible Crown then created or developed Dance for Purpose. Can you tell me about that?
So Invisible Crown has been around for 10 years, and on the 10th anniversary, which was last year, the founder, Waboy, felt there was something she'd been called to, a higher purpose, being able to do more than she was doing through Invisible Crown. And there were a number of things that we realized is that, one, there's an interest around the arts, but the cost of doing artistic skill in this country is quite expensive. And we'd gotten a number of people on board who really wanted, kids who are unable, they're from humble backgrounds, but they're not able to pay for their art. That was one, but also that we have been established, as I said, around the whole element of helping our children to use their art to be able to minister and to be of purpose to what God has given them. And so in that sense, then, we said we need to do more with the ministry. What we're doing, we can't do it directly through Invisible Crown because it's a school. And so in that basis, we said, well, then let's start Dance for Purpose. And many a times people are like, why not music? Why not drama? Why not? And for us, we felt when you do categorize the arts in this country, and when you tell people dance, there's a certain perception people have around dance. And people are like, it can't really be used as a means of communicating, because we know how dance has been in Kenya. And we thought, let's take that challenge. And for us, we said, let's do Dance for Purpose, where we're saying, one, you can be able to use dance as a form of ministry, where you're actually able to share the gospel using dance. But secondly, also, is to tell Kenyans, look, you can actually do dance as a profession. It will actually be able to earn you money. It is a way of earning a living. All you need to do is have a certain level of discipline. You need to be able to be committed to the cause, and you're going to be able to do it. But also, thirdly, is also to at a bigger scale is also to show that the creative industry does have potential. The creative industry can grow. And so it's on that basis then we said, why don't we do this? And of course, inwardly we said, we want to do this not because we want to raise money for Invisible Crown, but we want to be able to see how do we raise money to support kids who have the talent but have nowhere to go to be able to do it. And so this year we were lucky to partner with King's Kids Village. They're based in Kiambu. They're a children's home. They have amazing children who are very talented. And so the proceeds from this year are actually going to them. So Invisible Crown will come in and partner and support the kids who are very talented. And hopefully we can be able to see them on stage at some point.
And performing. Yeah. So Dance for Purpose, is it open to anyone in the public, or is it specifically geared towards uplifting and helping members of the community from disadvantaged backgrounds?
So the whole idea of Dance for Purpose is we are using a three-pronged approach. Is that one, we want to be able to look at adapt an artist. Secondly, is that we want to be able to see whether we can adapt a home, so similar to what we're doing with King's Kids.
Yeah.
But also thirdly, we are looking at adapt a school. As I said, we're trying to complement what already exists. We don't really want to reinvent the wheel as well. So we appreciate that the curriculum exists for schools.
Yeah.
But how best can we be able to strengthen what already exists?
Right.
Yeah. So that's how we are looking at it in that sense. Is that then we're trying to see how do we get either adapt a student, an artist, adapt a school, or adapt a home.
Yeah. Interesting. Cassandra, I'm curious to know if you felt this kind of pull between, do I pursue my passion, which I don't know how it was back then, if it was seen as a legitimate career and you could earn money and not worry about supporting yourself, or do you get a 9-to-5 job? Because I know for a fact here in Kenya, if you tell your parents, they're like, maybe start with medicine, and then it's a hobby. On Saturdays, you can dance. Yeah. But did you feel that kind of pull between two worlds? Was there any disconnect?
A little bit, but I was young and I didn't seem to matter that much at that time of my life, actually. I think my parents were more concerned that I would be supported. But, you know, we've seen God provide, like, in crazy ways. I've been given cars. When we didn't think we'd have enough money, there was just enough somehow, you know. So the element of like walking by faith and actually seeing God provide, I could tell stories beyond stories how the Lord's provided. So in that way, I wouldn't trade it in for anything. So it's never really been a worry for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. So what about the kids who've graduated? Have there been kids who've graduated from the program, and how do you help transition them into this, to the workspace?
So we currently are having like, I wouldn't call them graduates, but the first group who are about 17. We have about 1 or 2 girls who are 17. And what we're trying to do now is we're trying to see how we can transition them. So as they're going to college, we're trying to link up. And that's why we do partnerships with people like Ballet Magnificat, is how do we help our kids to be able to transition and still continue with the arts. And just linking to what she's saying is that we do recognize that parents bring their kids for different reasons. And of course, some will bring for, okay, it's a nice Saturday hobby thing, come and do it. But now we're also trying to have a conversation with the parents, because for us, we're looking at, if you can see the art in your child, what areas do you see it in? So for us, one, we can see it as one, they want to be a performer, and so we work towards helping them become performers. Or two, is that they have the ability to teach, as Cassandra, is that then some of them actually want to learn the art to be able to transfer that skill. So we are very intentional in trying to identify that. But also third is to see, and which is actually all across. Most of these kids, we have seen it actually helps with their self-development. So whether they pursue it as a career or whether they do it as a hobby, it does help with self-development, as she has highlighted. But also, the fourth thing is that we do recognize that there are very few dance studios around Kenya. And so we are also looking at maybe this can become an entrepreneur, a business for one of them to actually be able to develop a dance studio. But I think for us most critically is also helping them to be able to use dance as a form of ministry, as a form of sharing the word. You know,
All
so
right.
we're very deliberate in sure that we help our children begin to form in that direction.
Right, yeah. So I want to know how then Dance for Purpose and Ballet Magnificat came together.
Oh my God.
But I know we've got to take a break, so we're going to do that. We'll take a break and we'll be back in just a moment.
Complement your breakfast with the new Minute Maid Nutri-Defenses Nectar Plus. Start your day with the goodness of great-tasting juice fortified with vitamin E and zinc to complement your family's nutritional needs. Minute Maid Nutri-Defenses Nectar Plus. Try it today.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because the tooth is too big.
No, it might be a tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate. Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities for maximum cavity protection. And now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Africa is resilient and a land of possibilities. It's in the race to be the next frontier, a continent rising to claim her rightful place in the world. From the 8th to the 9th of December 2019 in Kigali, Rwanda, the Kusi Ideas Festival kicks off as a Pan-African knowledge platform highlighting opportunities and innovations shaping Africa's success in the 21st century. Organized by the Nation Media Group, Kusi Ideas Festival brings together bold, free-spirited individuals who are working to make this Africa's century, and the people who are on top of the trends that will make the next 60 years. Be part of this great experience and exciting story. Register today on www.kusiideasfestival.com. Early bird tickets available now.
You are watching Living with Ess in association with Minute Maid.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're at Park Inn by Radisson, and I've got Susan, who runs the Impact and Social Program. Is it Impact and Social Program at Invisible Crown? And one of the programs is Dance for Purpose. And then I've got Cassandra, who's a former dancer and also one of the directors at Ballet Magnificat. Now, I know you're based in Nairobi, you're based in Mississippi, worlds apart. How did your worlds collide, ladies?
So, what happened is that when Ogwe, as I said, the founder, felt that then we can be able to do Dance for Purpose, we thought we would want to do this as a way of, one, can we partner with international companies that exist, that are like mind as we are, and that would be able to come and be able to inspire not only our children, but also be able to inspire Kenyans in what they do. And believe it or not, it was a Google search.
What?
Google search.
Okay, Mr. Google came, came to the
popped
rescue. Wow.
Ballet Magnificat.
Wow.
And and social media actually works. We started the conversation on Facebook. Hi, this is who we are. This is what we do. We would be interested to work with you. Tell us about if this is something you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's God-led, it's God-divine, because it was just a natural
It worked.
mix.
Cassandra, why did this feel like an organic, natural partnership for Ballet Magnificat?
Yeah, well, they were brave enough to bring 13 dancers over. Yeah, it's so special to give the dancers an opportunity to do something outside of the normal. We tour throughout the United States, but there's something special to see what God's doing in another country. We interacted with the Invisible Crown dancers and other dancers in the city, and it was so wonderful just to see how they're using their dance here, you know. But when we I guess first had the conversation, it just seemed right. It just seemed like the right thing to do, and an exciting and kind of adventure for us to see how we can partner together. And,
wow.
And it turned out great.
Okay, so then you bring them over to Kenya, right? Why? Why did you have them come over? I mean, I know why, but like, I'd like you to share why.
So why? That's an interesting question. I think for us is we recognize that, as I shared, dance is not yet recognized for the profession it is. And so we felt that Ballet Magnificat, having been doing what they have been doing, would be a good opportunity for people to see. Because seeing is believing. So it's a good opportunity for people to see what can actually be done. But also we wanted an opportunity for our kids to also interact with Ballet Magnificat, to get inspired, to have a feel. And beyond our children, we want to influence the dance culture and the dance industry here. So we also were having an opportunity for them to meet with different dancers around town. They had an opportunity to meet with Sarah Cassie. They had an opportunity to do a street performance, just to be able to inspire Kenyans and let them know that you can be able to do amazing things, just like Ballet Magnificat.
Yeah. And you organized, there was a ballet show as well, wasn't there?
Yes, so we had a number of ballet shows around Nairobi. So we were able to have one at, the last one that we had yesterday was at the International Christian Center, a church where we're able to meet with them. We're able to have 2 shows at the Village Market and 1 at the Junction.
Oh, wow. So what was it like? Had you ever, because I know you're based in Mississippi, but had you ever moved or sort of gone outside, done any international shows?
We have. We've actually, over the 33 years, Ballet Magnificat has been to 40 countries.
Wow.
So we've been to all different types. We have never danced on a rooftop before, though, so this was a first.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And have you ever been to Kenya before as Ballet Magnificat?
You know, 6 years ago, we went out to a small village called Ogembo.
Okay.
About 5 hours from now. And that was a fascinating experience as well. This was quite different, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is actually our second time here. Yeah.
So tell me about your dances. Do they come through the school and sort of graduate and then leave to pursue dance as a career later, or do you also sort of work with them and try to get shows for ballet dances?
Yeah, some do come, and we actually have a trainee program. So after they're finished with high school, they audition for this program, and we train them for a couple more years. Some go into our professional company, and then some are trained to go to other professional companies or teaching. There's like a world of opportunities now. 33 years ago, there wasn't that much, but nowadays there's so many opportunities to use your gift for the Lord, to train other dancers. Some we have sent overseas to help out. We'd love to send some to Invisible Crown one day as well, and help disciple the children here.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in both cases, the dancers that you work with, is it important that they are Christian in this case? That they understand that it really is about ministry and dance? Or would you be open to having, whether it's Muslims, atheists, or people from different faiths and religions?
We have a school of the arts back in home in Mississippi, and from ages 3 to 18 we train, and we welcome everyone. They're absolutely welcome to come. No, for the training program, we do ask that they have a Christian faith, because that's part of our sharing. And that's a very important element in that sense. Yes.
And what about
so
you?
So for Invisible Crown, similar, 3 to 18, we open the doors and we accept all. We're just very deliberate about our content. So our content that we teach to the children, our character building as we teach to the children, we're very intentional. And we're clear that it's based on Christian values, but it does not mean then that you have to be a Christian to be able to come.
Okay.
And for us, we're actually practicing what we're told in the Bible: go out, and you're commissioned to go out and be in the world, and be able to be the salt of the world. And that's what Invisible Crown sees itself as.
Okay.
We're not closed to the Christian fraternity, but we are open to all, in the belief that in you being able to engage with us, partnering with us, you'll be able to begin to understand what we are all about and what Christianity is all about. Yeah.
Have you seen children change and sort of go through this program and come out, whether it's more settled or more intentional, happier? Maybe kids who came in and they were, more aggressive, angry, that they've changed through this program?
How much time do you have?
Oh.
Yeah. That's how much.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and for us, as we are growing and becoming as Invisible Crown, we are recognizing the impact of this. And the other thing we're also doing and why we're doing the Dance for Purpose is because we have been able to see the impact within our children. Is that the children who have come who were not focused, were having challenges. But I'm telling you, Sharon, when you see a child sitting and playing that instrument and being able to play that instrument and they go back into their classwork, it's totally different. We have testimonials from parents who come and say, ever since my child started playing the instrument, ever since my child started dancing, they have a certain level of discipline. They have a certain level of confidence, They have a certain level of recognizing that they actually have a role, in taking care of their little siblings. They're more responsible in school. We are hearing this kind of reports from different parents. That we have kids from troubled backgrounds, and they find this space as a space of solace for them to be able to come and just be able to be able to just have some element of perspective of life and things. So we are seeing the different elements. And so as Invisible Crown, we are also currently looking at how do we make this space available, not just to these kids who are able, but imagine how much more it would be for underprivileged kids who have the challenges they're facing and are able to find this space at Invisible Crown and are able to actually have this space to help them realize that they are actually capable of doing much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So now I want to know, we've talked a lot about the kids, 3 to 18. Is there space for 30-year-olds with absolutely no movement, hip issues, and maybe some back issues to join the club?
Of course you can.
No, really, is there, on a serious note, is there a right age, like an ideal age to join ballet classes, or to start ballet classes, rather? I'm going to ask you as a teacher. Yeah.
I mean, people would say 8 is ideal. You start ballet 1. But I've seen so many people start later and adapt. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You might not want to make a career out of it, but you could do it.
Because when are you ripe? Well, I don't know if ripe is the right word, but when are the years to which you're most likely to make, to sort of perform the best?
Yeah, ballet can be a little bit tedious in the progression. You don't want to go too fast. You want to have building blocks to have very good ballet technique.
Yeah.
But then once you get to be 18 or so, then you add the element of artistry. Like you can add it earlier too, but if we're expressing ourselves through dance, it's not just kicking our legs, but there is drama and more artistry that gets pulled out. So there's always layers to unfold and bring out that artist and that dancer.
Yeah. What makes a good dancer?
I think the training in excellence does make a good dancer, but then I think that artistry, really being able to go beyond yourself. A lot of dancers are shy, so then to actually kind of hide behind that. Yeah,
I'll see in a moment. Yes. I want to meet the dancer.
But then to pull out that artistry, to really tell a story. We tell stories with our ballet, so to do that takes that extra step. And so it's exciting to see when someone starts really expressing themselves more and more.
Yeah. I've been moved to tears through dance because it really truly is a form of expression. You can feel the emotion coming out from you get it, contemporary dance and ballet dance. You really do start to feel it.
And you could actually see it during the shows and how you could see the expressions on people's faces as they did the performance, because they did the prodigal journey, which is a story about the prodigal son and the redemption. It was amazing. And even after the shows, people would come and say, I never really thought that ballet would be this expressive, you know, and we want to demystify that as well, is to demystify that ballet can be done by any form of person. You don't have to be slim, you can be big. It's just about the learning, and as she's saying, it's about technique, it's about passion.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to actually do it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks so graceful. I love it. And I see how, like, you know, younger kids are so flexible, and I envy that so much. And it's either yoga or ballet. Which one is going to, like, help your muscle? And neither one I did, so I'm just stuck with, like, bones. And I think a lot of us, too, are stuck in our desks and offices, and we're not moving much. And there's a gracefulness to it that just you get. There is, I mean, I can imagine if you combine that with a higher purpose, a bigger message, that really truly is ministry. All right. Any last words or any last projects that you're working on? Things that you'd like for people to know about? Places you'd like them to follow you, check you out on YouTube, anything?
I would like to just add one thing, that we host Ballet Magnificat in Jackson, Mississippi, a summer dance program for 2 or 4 weeks, and we've had a lot of international students come and train with us and be discipled, and we've seen lots of life change even during those 2 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the highlights of our ministry, to interact with the kids for that. So we'd love for more Kenyans to come join us in that.
Yeah.
You can find that on our website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ballet Magnificat.
Ballet Magnificat.
Okay.
So as Invisible Crown, we will be doing this annually, the Dance for Purpose program. So we invite people to partner with us, whether as individuals or as corporates. We'll keep you updated. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, Dance for Purpose Kenya, and also follow us on Invisible Crown for those who have kids who they feel have an art thing, you're not sure, Invisible Crown is a place to come.
Right.
We can help you to actually discover that in your child.
Yeah, I love that, and I love the idea of encouraging encouraging our children to tap into their artistry, because a lot of times we kill that in them. We say, oh, what are you drawing? Stop it. And once you kill that, it becomes a wound that they hold on to. And creativity, whether you're a scientist, mathematician, a lawyer, you still need some elements of creativity in your life.
Actually, some of our trainers are that.
Oh,
we have
look at
trainers who are
that.
architects.
Look
We
at
actually
that.
are encouraging parents not to choose. We tell them you don't have to choose now.
Yeah.
Because we actually have trainers who are architects and are actually trainers in the arts form. Yeah, so that's something also that we are starting a campaign with our children, and hoping that then the champions who are the parents can be able to get that movement growing.
To support them.
Yeah.
All right, I want to see the dances now. I want to see if they're as shy as you said they are, but more so I really want to see them dancing. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll meet a few of them, I think about 6, right? 6 of the dancers from Ballet Magnificat who perform for us. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
Study hotel management and culinary arts through our Swiss-based curriculum and methods. Earn a dual Swiss diploma in 2 years from BIHC and BHMS. Apply for the January 2020 intake.
WAPEX 2019 for water, electricity, renewable energy and power expo. It will take place from 11th to 13th of November at New Sarit Expo Center, where all the industry leaders, investors, decision makers, agents and distributors meet under one roof.
Jonah is terminal. It's his dying wish to see his father on top again.
There's an operation that can save Jonah, and I need the money.
Let's call it a new beginning. A race, to be exact.
You have arrived.
Looking for something?
Days are numbered, sifting sand. Sky shattered promises, a fickle man.
Prove me wrong about you.
Soaking with the street light out.
Sometimes you just have to be still.
What's he doing now? He's praying, Zach. He's praying.
Cause when he's thirsty, there's a well there.
Whoa, whoa, yaku swing! Whoa, 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 yaku dunk!
Lara fresh milk. Just my whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's been 3 years since 28 children in Teso North suffered from various forms of paralysis. These are standard 6 pupils, and this is what they have to put up with.
Congratulations to NTV's Rose Wangui, winner of the prestigious National Journalism Award 2019. We celebrate you.
Africa is at a crossroads, and what it does in the years ahead could leave it a big winner, or with scars of a few half-won victories. We believe it will win. Welcome to the next 60 years in Africa. The Kosi Ideas Festival, brought to you by the Nation Media Group, is happening this December in Kigali. Come celebrate, network, and connect with great business minds, amazing opportunities with Africa's leaders in deliberating Africa's direction. 60 years and beyond. The Kosi Ideas Festival will be in Kigali December the 8th and the 9th at the Inare Conference Center. For more information on how you can register, visit our website www.kosiideasfestival.com or reach us on the number on your screen right now. The Kosi Ideas Festival, shaping the next Africa 60 years and beyond.
You are watching Living with Ess in association with Minute Maid.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, for this last segment, we're going to get into the dancing. I've got Ballet Magnificat, the 6 members who've been in Kenya for the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to ask Carson to introduce your team members. Why don't you?
All right, so the members that we've got here today are Natasha, Megan, myself, Elisha, Emily, and Blair Shelton.
Okay. So I am curious to know, how long have you all been dancing? You can just like pass the mic around and tell me a little bit about that. How long have you been dancing?
So I've been dancing for 16 years, so since
Whoa.
very little, yeah.
Yeah. So how old do you know how old?
3 years old.
Oh, so you were 3.
Yeah.
You know, I've been seeing how like 2-3-year-olds are so flexible, like doing a squat, they're flat on their feet and they're like doing a proper squat. So I can imagine your muscles, all of you, must be used to just being stretched out in different directions. Is it ever painful? Does it ever get to the point of, I can hear the laughter like, oh, you have no idea. Does it ever get too painful, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started dancing when I was 11, so I was a little bit older.
Okay.
So I've been dancing for 9 years, and I definitely feel like I missed out a little bit on that early flexible age.
Oh, wow.
It does hurt, but then the stretch is what it makes you go further. So at the end of the day, it's really exciting when the stretch kind of hurts a little bit. You're getting stronger, you're getting more flexible.
Yeah.
So you push through it for the reward at the end.
And I imagine, I mean, you guys must, I mean, in many ways are like athletes, and the idea is to sort of like push yourself and then recover, push yourself and recover. So what are some of your quick tips, and Carson, as you also say how long you've been dancing, some quick tips to like quickly recover? Is there, if there's even something like a quick recovery?
Yeah, I've been dancing ballet only since I was 14 years old.
Oh.
So there's a lot of things that I had to learn a bit faster. I had to figure things out. But my number one thing is making sure that we get good nutrition. We eat a lot in order to keep up with the dancing.
Right.
And then we like using heat and cold on our muscles to try to ease them for the next day. And just never taking a day off when we don't have to.
That, I mean, that really is commitment, if you ask me. So you've touched a little bit on diet, and I've been watching this slowly, trying to make my way through this documentary on Netflix called Game Changers. I don't know if any of you have watched it, but it really is about like veganism and vegetarians. And so how much of veggies versus meat plays a role into like your diet to be able to keep up with what's, you know, the demanding activities?
Okay, well, I've been dancing since I was 12, and I'm probably the worst person for you to ask this question to. I definitely love my meat, and yeah, I love bacon and steak and all the really juicy.
Yeah, me too.
So like, yeah, I'm probably the worst person to ask. Maybe Emily might be she'd definitely be a much better person for this question.
Okay. So, but how big a deal is diet? I think I remember like ages ago watching this YouTube video of a ballerina who was taking you through like her foods and like portions, and you're seeing how much she's eating to be able to, you know, keep up with the energy and the demanding schedule.
Yeah. So I've actually been dancing for 15 years.
Okay.
So yeah, quite a while.
Yeah.
And I actually am vegan. So I've been vegan for about 4.5 years or 5.
And did it have an impact on your energy, on your performance, flexibility?
Not flexibility, but
Okay.
it definitely did help with energy. It helped me feel lighter, and yeah, it encouraged me to take in more veggies, more fruits,
Yeah.
and just eat better all around.
Because that's, I mean, at the end of the day, eat your veggies, like our mom said, is a big part of really being able to keep up with our demanding schedules. All right, so I want to know how long you've been dancing, and if you think that there's an age that's too late to join, because I really want to be flexible, but I don't know if I can. Like I saw their stretches before we started, and I was like, how is she doing that? So do you think, is there an age that's too late to start?
I mean, I don't really think there is.
Okay. Deep down, you're like, yeah, girl, you're 30. That's it. That's the bus, like, passed a long time.
It is better to start when you're younger because your bones haven't fully,
Right.
hardened, I guess.
Yeah.
So, like, your ligaments and your muscles and all that are a lot more flexible.
Yeah. How long have you been dancing?
15 years.
All right, so I'm just going to let you guys do your thing, and I'm just going to watch there. Probably will be trying to pull some of your moves. We'll probably fail miserably, but thank you so much, and I can't wait. So let's get dancing. Okay.
Like
it.